Hello, and welcome back to the Corruptive Khaos channel. Today, we'll be reviewing Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which was directed by, once again, Jeff Fowler, and was written by Pat Casey, Josh Miller, and newcomer John Whittington.
What's happening?
Okay, quick version. Robotnik is back.
I discovered the source of ultimate power.
We need to get it back or the world is doomed.
So, right off the bat, not thinking about this current film, but thinking about its predecessor, the first Sonic the Hedgehog that came out in February of 2020. I gotta say, I really love that film. I think it was a great adaptation of a video game. Normally, video game films don't go over all that well with fans or film critics, but I think it blended humor and it had good visual effects all together in a action-adventure plot that involved, the arch nemesis of Sonic, Dr. Robotnik, played by the ever-charismatic Jim Carrey, and was able to be a really fun, PG-rated kids flick. I mean, it's intended for kids, but, I saw it, just 2 years ago, and, well, I was not a child, a PG audience-targeted child, back 2 years ago. But regardless, it was a ton of fun, and this one feels no different. I think that the direction and writing is just as sharp. Things have setups, and those setups have payoffs. How wonderful. I think the script is far better than a Sonic movie probably ever deserved to be, or a video game film in general. When you're thinking about a film that mixes animation with live action footage, that's been a filming technique that has been going on for decades. I think, Walt Disney experimented with that all the way back in the 1940s. I think that a prime example of this is something like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is a really great flick that was able to blend live action footage and traditional animation before the big CGI animation wave hit in sort of the mid-90s with Toy Story.
I know the cops are on our tail. What do you think I am, Black Betty? No! Pull the lever!
So here, do the VFX hold up? Is it actually able to convince your brain that, hey, this is kind of weird, yes, but it's believable in a way that is seamless in the story, the goofy plot anyway? And I would say, yeah, the visual effects do look very good. Sonic, of course, had a original design that was atrocious. One of the worst CGI character designs I've probably ever seen. But now, I think the modern design of Sonic looks great, along with the newcomers, Tails and Knuckles, which aren't really spoilers. They were known to be involved with this sequel.
Hope I'm not too late.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Name's Tails.
Okay.
I think that's a good point to bring up because I have said in the past, just in earlier reviews that bad VFX can just take me out of a film. It's breaking that suspension of disbelief that you're supposed to hold while buying into the plot, the characters' actions, the motivations, and if that falls apart, the whole film can fall apart for you. And with that said, I cannot imagine a different sort of incarnation of these characters in that live action and animation blend. I think the designs of the characters are spot on. And with that, moving on, I think that the characters, the human characters that are acting with the voice acting characters, with those Sonic and adjacent characters, it is seamless. So when, for instance, Jim Carrey as Robotnik is talking to a character like Knuckles, it is seamless. And the humor really works back and forth between them. And I can imagine that some improv was going on with Jim Carrey and even the voice actors in a sound booth, after the fact in post-production. And if that were the case, it is likewise very seamless.
Time to say this, but I don't actually have a plan. Hey, you got a little something on your...
Also, when James Marsden, our protagonist human character, and Tika Sumpter, his wife, are interacting with Tails and Sonic, it is seamless. I think you are buying into that. You know, their eyes, that's a big thing I notice. Their eyes are always looking at where the character's eyes should be in the post-production process. Obviously, when they're there on set, they're not actually looking at the real Sonic or the real Tails. They're usually looking at just a tennis ball or a really weird and surreal looking plastic or made out of some other material Sonic or Tails figure. So with that, moving on, I think yeah, the acting, you know, pretty fun. It really feels like a very laid back set. Our actors probably had a blast just filming this. This is very much a blending of genre. It has the action adventure that'll keep kids engaged, and I think even comedy that isn't so lowbrow that it's just meant for kids. I think adults like myself can buy into the humor. I think if there was not a laugh out of me from every 5 minutes or so, then that was on the fault of me, not the film.
Do I look like I need your power?
So as for the actual literal plot, not just the laughs and action set pieces, you have Robotnik coming back once again. Of course, at the end of the first one, it was hinted that he would make a return. He was stuck on this mushroom planet, which we do get our first scene of this sequel on the mushroom planet with Robotnik. And he's able to summon a beacon of sorts using one of Sonic's quills that he took from the previous film. And that gets the attention of Knuckles, who, of course, in Sonic lore, he did team up with Robotnik originally to stop Sonic. There was a tension between those two characters, and that really works here in the story. You buy in that Robotnik is the smart, conniving, plotting one, and Knuckles is just angry and mad and really strong and powerful. And the fights that we see between Sonic and Knuckles are really just fun to watch. Also, we get the introduction of the Khaos Emerald. That's a big thing in Sonic lore, of course. And so I do think that, I guess the storytellers, the filmmakers and writers, didn't sort of go overboard with trying to give everything to the fans in that very first film. I like that we're getting this sort of gradual increase of things that fans might love and know from past Sonic incarnations. So, and I did want to mention that you do have voice actors Ben Schwartz as Sonic, Colleen O'Shaughnessy as Tails, who previously voiced Tails in other shows and I believe video games as well. Then you have Idris Elba as Knuckles, who, yeah, he does start off as a villainous character, and I mean, you kind of see where it's going to go. He does eventually get betrayed by Robotnik, but that's no real big surprise, is it? And so just with that, I should say that I think voice actors and actors, you know, they're just as justified in their performances. I think they really mesh well together. Ben Schwartz, I think, is a perfect Sonic at the moment. And then moving on from that, I would say this just does transcend being a kid's movie. Sure, it's PG, but personally, my really fun enjoyment from this flick is kind of shocking because I have a bias toward R-rated films for the most part, and seeing a PG film isn't all that common for me, but I had, you know, pretty limited expectations for that original Sonic 2 years ago, and that actually made me a fan of the franchise, and not just the films. So, actually, I became quite a big fan of Sonic in the IDW comic books. This was something that helped me get into comic books. They're just fun. I think the storytelling is pretty impressive for, once again, being targeted at kids for the most part. These are just a couple of trade paperbacks. This one is a spin-off, Bad Guys, and this one is a collected edition of, I think, let's see, 9 through 12, issues 9 through 12. And so, yeah, these are a lot of fun. I'm definitely not caught up to date on these Sonic comic books from IDW, but they're a fun read.
Since I've been gone, I've discovered the source of ultimate power.
That sounds big. It's been on my vision board for years.
So like I said, very humorous. I think you're going to get a lot of jokes. I mean, just coming out over and over and over, basically from every character. The film is paced very quickly. And I would say, in that vein of being paced fast, movies that can just be paced quickly means that they just move from scene to scene to scene to scene, and they don't really have this momentum of plot behind them that you feel like you're going to crescendo up to that big third act finale. But here, on the other hand, it feels like the writers know and understand that, you have to take away parts from the past scenes that build character developments and motivations for the future. And that happens. I mean, we get to see the friendship of these two fake, visually anyway, fake characters of Sonic and Tails that I really enjoy. Plus, like I said, we get to move from scene to scene. We get a lot of set pieces. We go from Hawaii to Siberia to the town that we saw for the most part in the first one. We are just all over the place. We get to go to Seattle, where Sonic is trying to be a hero, calls himself Blue Justice. And so the film just does not let up in trying to engage you. I think if you're not engaged with this, then you just have disregarded its premise. That this is just a kid's movie, it's not meant for you. But overall, I had a lot of fun with this. Like I said, it made me into a Sonic kind of fan. I care more about this character than I do probably other video game characters. And it's because of that first film and now this sequel. So maybe it feels really generous or I'm just out of my mind, but I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. That's right. I mean, all in all, this was an extremely entertaining watch. So, thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know, did you watch Sonic? Do you think it's just made for kids and not man-children like me? Or did you think it was a really fun watch and you found a lot of entertainment value out of it? Let me know down in the comments below. And be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.
Hedgehog.
It's time to say goodbye to humanity.